Moonlight dripping through the blinds, your silhouette, it rewinds my mind. Every step closer feels like a crime. I'm caught up in your heat, like honey, slow and sweet. Pull me under, I can't compete. You're my midnight glow, my midnight glow, lighting up the dark like nobody knows. You're my midnight glow, you're my midnight glow, my midnight glow. Can't escape your fires pulling me close. Oh, shadows dance across the wall. Your laugh echo, I lose it all. Your touch feels like a velvet cloud. Every second stretches bending time. You're the melody I can't define. Drowning deep in every line. You're my midnight glow, my midnight glow, lighting up the dark like nobody knows. You're my midnight glow, my midnight glow. Can't escape your fires pulling me close.
Yeah. I ain't got it all worked out, and I don't think I'm supposed to. This is just me. Used to bend myself to keep things smooth. Say let's stay small, just make it through. Play the version people could receive, and lost some parts of what was really me. Wore a face that helped me get along. Held it together, called it being strong. And every year it got a little harder to tell you what was peace and what was armor. Thought by now I'd be a little further, little less tired, little more certain. But maybe growing ain't a clean straight line. Maybe it's true showing up over time. I am not every wrong turn, not every season that burned. I'm still learning, I'm still deep, still becoming who I can be. This is authentically me, not perfect, just honestly trying to hold on to my peace without pretending it comes easy. I'm still facing the truth, still shedding what I outgrew. And if all I do is stay real through the pressure, that's enough for me. Had to stop expecting people to see the way behind the calm. Some folks only know the version and never says when something's wrong. And I've been working through it slowly, one hard day, one breath, one choice. Trying not to lose myself between survival and a voice. I don't need to be the loudest, I don't need to prove I changed. I just wanna look at who I am, and I feel like I turned away. Getting older to make it clearer, time don't pause so I can't hide. Some things heal and some things stay, and you just learn to carry right. I am not what got broken, not every silence I swallowed. Every lesson, every hit taught me what I won't fake again. This is authentically me, not polished, just finally seen. Trying to stand where my feet are without performing strength for people. Still making it through, still becoming something true. And if all I do is keep showing up real, that's enough for me. I forgive who I had to be when I ain't know another way. The one who kept it all inside. inside and smile just to get
What's
through
good,
days.
y'all?
I don't
What
need to
is
love every scar
good?
to admit that it's
Welcome, of
mine.
course,
I
to
don't need to have all the
Screen.
answers
Well,
to
here
stop
we need to
leaving
have all
myself
the
behind. Now I see it's not glory, it's honesty. It's not right. It's choosing not to disappear in me.
Boy Wrestler. I appreciate bringing
This is
here
authentically
in the
me.
actual Flirting itself.
A little
We already have people
more
that
and a
just
little more
started
clear
swarming in,
now where I thought I would be.
and
Still I
of course,
made
we
it
get our
here.
lurkers, and
Head
then our
up high,
berserkers,
learning
and
Sunday
then of course we
strong,
get our
Sundays
try
hurting.
some,
If I
and
can
then of
keep
course
growing
not
without
enough
losing
try
myself,
hard. But it is what it is.
that's
This
enough.
is aspect of social media. It's a big plug-in. You support this person. If it's not immediate,
Yeah, that's enough for me.
at least in their mind, that's what it is. You can't come in less than 3 seconds.
That's enough for me.
And honestly,
Authentically me.
that works out in my favor
Still
because to
figuring
me,
it
in
out.
my mind, you need
Still
more.
becoming.
Oh, you said music's still playing. My bad. You're right. You are absolutely right. Thank you about that. I'm listening to myself. Sorry. The issue is a lot of people have a very short term thought process. So a lot of people end up losing a lot of stuff early. So what we could have in terms of getting by, in terms of learning, in terms of doing all the other stuff, is not necessarily the things that take place on social media. And I want to talk about something tonight that we see that happens throughout a lot of areas of social media, right? And that is, oh no. The moment Jen, the moment you said it was the moment I saw it. So we were actually on point the same time. At the same time, and I said, wait, I'm still seeing my music thing go off. This is crazy. So right when you said, I was like, oh shit, yeah, she hears what I just saw. So on my side is muted, on her side is really loud. Let me bring it down. So we literally met up in the middle, Jen. So I appreciate you telling me, because if I didn't catch it, I rely on people like yourself to be able to call that out. So thank you for that. I want to talk about something that happens a lot in social media, and a lot of people don't really try to address. No, peace. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we get into a whole lovey-dovey conversation, romantic conversation for tonight. I'm not saying that. I'm not hitting you with the who sung that? Who sung that song? Maybe you guys who love you gals. It's mainly you gals who love the love music. Who's the guy who says waiting for tonight? 'Cause you don't have to be alone tonight. Who was that? I listen, as I get older, I forget a lot of the actual musicians who had a lot of prominent songs throughout the years. But no, this is not a lovey-dovey stream. But it is a conversation that we need to have, because a lot of people over the years have fallen in and out of what the idea of the dynamics of dealing with each other are. Let me put it that way, right? I can hear it. I forget. Damn, someone's gonna remember the song. I just can't remember the damn name of the song. One energy drink down. So let's talk a little bit about the bit of the stream that it is. If you see, flirting became content. Now, this is a tale as old as time, where we see people who are online, or celebrities, or people who are followers of content creators, and eventually love is in the air. And a lot of people end up getting in relationships, or they build over a particular garnering of attention towards one another. And this becomes something that becomes very big in not only their lives, but also to the lives of the viewers themselves. You guys, we guys, all of us. And we need to talk a little bit about that, because there's always something that turns out to be a little bit more than what we've actually expected. And I don't think that we really give ourselves our just dues when it comes to that. What exactly does it mean? Why does it mean so much more to other people than it does to actual self? Is it actually flirting? Do we pick up on it? What do we actually understand about it? There's a lot of stuff that's just really coming into my mind. So let's start with first the state. Let's state an intention. Let's state the intention without turning it into a whole dating advice stream. Let's just go there. I know you ladies, you love your little dating advices and your little quibs and everything that comes with that, right? So I'm gonna be here with you. Most people think, I'm gonna get my energy gum because I have been a little tired today. Most people get in there. Think flirting is about whether someone likes you. I know through experience that this is not the real issue. Give me a moment. I gotta break down this gum. The real issue is really meaning, because this is a part of a conversation, a part of communication that people don't really think about. Because flirting can be attraction. It can be a play. It can be a habit. It can be out of boredom. It can be a person keeping conversation. I'm sorry, this feels weird. Give me a moment. This feels weird to chew gum and talk to you at the same time. I'm just wasting this gum. Hold up. I just wasted a piece of my energy gum. That's gonna sit out right there. So there's one thing to do about that, right? I had to prepare. Walking and talking and chewing gum is one thing, but apparently streaming, talking, thinking at the same time, figuring out the exact words to be able to say to you and chewing doesn't really work. Especially when it's like cinnamon, a cinnamon kind of flavor. It's kind of crazy. So, sorry. Let's get into it. As I was saying, the real issue is that a lot of people really confuse the aspect of flirting, flirtation even, and not understanding why people do it. There's a lot of people who do this out of a lot of different needs. I mentioned because some of us have habits. I have a habit of flirting. Ladies, you already know I have a habit of flirting, right? It's just a natural thing to me. Some people do it out of boredom. Some people do it because they're genuinely interested in somebody else. And by the way, if you manage to get into the building, say what's up to everybody in the building so other people can acknowledge you. So thank you for showing up, James, already. I will get to a whole roll call, but you guys are anything. But let me just get this out there, because if I can get the foundation of what I'm talking about, then we can dive into other stuff later. Honestly, I think when it comes to flirting, it can be a person keeping the conversation alive from dying, because regular conversation is honestly rather boring, and where people get caught is they see the spark and the immediate trying to turn something into some sort of proof, but they're making a mistake. A spark is not proof. Have you ever noticed that when, for all you guys who have like palette stoves, the palette, it goes click, 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 click. A spark needs to be there in order to create the fire, right? What's good, Rachel? The palette is just simply doing a spark. The fire needs to be created in order for there to be an actual interest, an actual attraction, an actual heating of events. And people think that sparks are the initial proof, and they're not. A private joke is not proof. A person inviting you for coffee, a drink, or even a smoke, for those who like you're smoking, that's not proof as well. I have been with friends who know that I like alcohol. I have been with friends who know I like coffee. I have been with women who did not know that I like coffee or know that I like to drink, or even know that I even like to smoke, who like to smoke, and invite me into their house, right? Some people might look at this as an event, a turning event in which attraction is built. I have been to people who I've walked home, not because they've been my friends, but because they've been friends of friends and I am the guy. And I walked their friends home knowing it's going to take me double or no time to get home. But I'm being the gentleman tonight. And they're like, oh, hey, Resla, thank you for walking me in. I'm like, okay, cool. And they be like, how long is it gonna take you to get home? I'm like, it's gonna take me a while. Well, let's share numbers because I want to know that you got home so I can sleep easily at night. And I'm like, oh no, okay, cool, I'll do that for you. Here's my number, blah blah blah. And then they go, well, before you go, just anything you need. And I'm like, no, I think we're good. Do you want to come in for a coffee? Do you want to come in for a drink? And I'm like, a drink? These are two different things. Coffee could be a drink, sure, but they were very specific, coffee or a drink, right? It's a difference between the old school way of flirting when it could mean something, but it's not necessarily something, but we don't even use these words anymore. When someone says, would you like to come in for a nightcap? People don't really use that anymore. Nowadays, if you try to back away, you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. We're gonna do whatever. And then now they just go, all right, I appreciate it. Just want to let you know, you look good. Appreciate you. You look good too. Thank you for that. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you gotta leave now? Well, I just took you all the way over here. It's gonna take me at least a solid 2 hours to get back to my crib. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Do you smoke? No. I don't smoke. Haven't smoked in a while. It's not really my thing. Some of you might hear that and think, yo, she throwing the box at you, right? That's not true. A lot of people in the mixing what the flirtation signals are. Now, keep in mind, I have never invited a woman in for coffee, for drinks, or a smoke. Never happened. For a lot of people, they take these things very differently. And I want to also get into it. We'll get into it about how we look at this in real life, but also how we can look at this in terms of being online. For a lot of people, it can mean something. It can also mean that the settings change and now people are trying to figure out what exactly the settings mean. This is why conversation skills matter, because a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people believe right off the bat that they understand all communication, all body language, and what something is. And I think a lot of people get so caught up in the overt stuff that happens on social media, especially in social media, versus the quiet conversations, the quiet nuances that are actually done in real life, right? And a lot of people don't really understand. Well, quick pause. Jesus might be coming, but you can go see him now. So we're gonna move on from that. People will learn. People will learn. Go see him now. So for those who watch my channel, you understand exactly what human behavior is, right? Because people keep saying They know people, and a lot of times they only know what is the most obvious thing. They know the people's direct intentions. They know the loud attraction. They know the rejection when it embarrasses them. They know they know interest when it flatters them. This is not the same reading of behavior that most people actually take upon. This this sort of reading, this sort of intentionality that they're looking at, this is reacting after a behavior became an easy thing to name. We've seen so much content online, or rather, how many of you guys have gone through your timeline and you might even see the Riz culture? Very basic, very mundane shit, but they're like Riz gods. I'm like, there's no real effort in it. Like, can I just be a buck? But people are like, oh my god, yo, he did something, she did something. And it's nothing, there's no game even. It's not the same that it used to be. And I think it's because there's a backwards compatibility thing when it comes to culture. It's easier now to get access to the things that were not easy before. Case in point, I am 44 years of age. If I was born 20 years prior to the age that the days that we're in now, it would be I would by the time I would speed up to become the age that I am now, I would have probably double, if not triple, the amount of poon that I got just living my normal life. Can I just keep it a buck? The way how the internet and the way how culture has changed has made things so much easier. Not harder, easier than ever before. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've had more. I'm just being honest with you. I've had more women half my age, younger than half my age, reach out to me in my late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, and even here in my 40s than ever in my life. And it's weird to me. I don't condemn it. I find it cute, even at some points. But it's so weird how there are so many women that want to be so overt in their attention. And yet we still look at guys who still want to hold on to the mantle of talking so much about how much pussy they're getting or who's flirting with them. And I don't think a lot of people really understand the difference in that. Attention does not mean flirtation. And I'll get to that a little later. Attention does not mean flirtation. Or rather, let me change it around. Flirtation does not mean attention. It does not even mean attraction. It could just be a form of communication. We'll get down to that. I got bullet points, so I want to make sure I kind of touch on that, and we'll, as I'm just rambling and kind of just figuring it out as I'm saying it. So tonight is about the part before that, right? No. Well, Rachel, yes, part of it could be friendship, but I'll make it more salient. Trust me, I'll make it come together. Because I'm talking about the gray areas. So many people flip to yes or no, black or white, this or that, and a lot of people, it's a circle. They don't really land in the gray area. I'm talking about the part where somebody is flirting and maybe even they know it because it's overt. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're playing. Maybe they're testing the waters to see where they can and can't get somebody. And this happens between men and women. Maybe the other person thinks that it's harmless, and somebody who's watching on the sidelines thinks that there's a whole relationship that is starting up. Now, what about online? And I'm not talking about online dating, just parasocial relationships of dealing with people who are online. To me, this is more ambiguous. It makes things worse. Because now it's two people trying to read each other, possibly even across vast distances. Now the viewers, everyone else around, is also reading them. Whether it's happening on a panel, whether it is happening in a chat, whether it's happening between, not for nothing, put it this way, avatars. Now they're just watching avatars. They've never seen each other in real life. There could be a lot of contributing factors based on personalities more than actual understanding and interaction with one another. Now it's just people trying to figure shit out in real time. And the thing about this is, like I said, it's also the third party, us, as someone viewing them, but also you guys, say if it was me, you viewing us, viewing the interaction all at once. And this is very important. So let's separate flirting from overt attention, because I don't think a lot of people notice the difference. Let's get very clean difference out the way. Being overt means somebody is giving you a position. All right? Flirting gives you a room. That's the difference. If someone says, I'm attracted to you, there is less room to have to pretend otherwise, right? What the hell's happening? If someone says, come for coffee, now this context that you have to figure it out. This is not a confirmation. That kind of distinction matters. If I just walk up to you, say Rachel, and say, hey yo, I'm feeling you. I think you hot. You my type. There's no question about it. There's no question about that whatsoever. But if I'm like, hey, I'm about to go to lunch, or you want lunch at the same time? Let's go coffee. Let's go get coffee real quick. You're not gonna know the difference. That doesn't. It may mean something to you. It may not, because a lot of people don't understand that when they hear particular things or things that they consider to be messages, it's all about several factors. How do they view the other person, and also how they view themselves. We'll get into that. Let me say that one more time. How they view the other person, and also how they view themselves. That matters. A lot of people treat context like it's a confirmation. Can we just keep that up? Can we just be really honest about that? A lot of people treat context like it is a confirmation, and it is 1,000% not. A lot of people want to believe that they're really good at, they're behavioral people, or they're body language experts, or they've been rizzing long enough, or they've been watching their friend or their girlfriend, or they because they scooped up a girlfriend or a boyfriend at one point in their life, they believe that now they are a subject matter expert on dating. By the way, we say this also for the same thing about people who are married. Just because you were able to scoop up your partner does not mean you understand the very vast intricacies of people altogether. It's no disrespect to you. You got yours. Love it. But when you're like, this is how you get a woman, this is how you get a guy. No. That's how you got your woman. That's how you got your guy. The same way how the world does not run off of your prefixes and your idea of society and your idea of the world is the same way how they can't run it off of your partner. They're not also the same as well. People are very vastly indifferent. So I'm like, let's just say if I'm having this conversation, right? Spicy. Let's just say you're a person and you have a person that's in here and you're like, oh, my girl, she's interested in this and she's interested in that. And I say, well, the girl that I deal with, I like girls who are dominatrix.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I like my girl to treat me nasty, and she spanks and whips and whatever, and she chokes me out, and she talks shit to me in public, and sometimes I gotta apologize to her, and I get on my knees, and then my only way of really apologize to her is that I just say yes, and I open my mouth, and she spits in my mouth. Like, you would probably be like, that's not the way a relationship is supposed to go. Well, who are you to say? Maybe that's the way. It's not. But that's the way maybe how I like my relationship. Who are you to judge? Maybe every time I apologize, I want to suck a titty. maybe every time I'm wrong and I apologize, I get my mouth spit in. Like, what can you really say? How people run their relationships, how people run their relationship. But it's also a matter of what this couple decides to agree in, right? I know it sounds a bit extreme to some people. It sounds extreme, me saying something like this when reviewing and talking and having conversations with many people across many spectrums, right? But you know what's also an extreme? Sitting back in the chair in the corner and watching your significant other get plowed by men who are not a part of your circle. Or are they? Either way, this is a conversation and a dynamic that's set up between those particular people. For those who know me, I've heard a lot of different stories of how I've dealt with so many different people on so many different spectrums, so many different ideals and aspects of how their relationships are. Then you know some of the stories I've already told you. But also, I'm talking about how people in this particular stream, how people can interpret or misinterpret signals according to how they see people, but also how they see themselves, and not really paying attention to how maybe other people see them, or maybe not even caring, to be honest with you. A woman inviting a man inside after hanging out can be attraction. It can be comfort. It can be her expressing a matter of trust. It can be, honestly, nothing more than, I don't feel like the night is over just yet. I've had women where I've hung out with them, didn't really know them, or they're friends of friends or acquaintances or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm about to take off. They're like, you gotta go yet? And I'm just like, yeah, why? And they're simply like, I'm just not done with you yet. And I'm like, wait, what you mean? What you mean you're not done with me yet? And that, to me, it could be an attraction thing. Or it could be that they're so comfortable with me that they're just not ready to let a good night go. Now, I think to some guys, they will be like, she want me. She want me. And to other guys, it'll be like, honestly, I got a decision I got to make now. I got a decision I want to make. Either I'm going to, hey, I appreciate it, but I really got to get home, depending on what their situation is, if they're single or not single. Or they can just be like, you know what? Sure, it has been a good night. Let's get to know each other a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be anything more than that. Now, I can already hear guys already talking about, so she invited you in, she said she's not done with you yet, and you ain't trying to smash. Keep in mind, she's comfortable with you. She didn't say that she immediately wanted to fuck. And to some of you guys hearing that because he said he wants to agree to just come in and still just chill, you know, like, you know what? It's 11. I got till 12. I could dip around 12. But some of you guys are just like, so between 11 and 12, and you not trying to do a whole little afterwards, nigga. I had to make sure I do that little off camera for you guys. It's gay now. It's gay. Well, get yourself settled in. CMBB, get yourself settled in. We'll figure it out. You can figure it out. And a lot of people don't really understand. And I get it. It's okay not to be able to understand. But a lot of people misinterpret because they're thinking about themselves. And as human beings, is something that we actually do. And for the people who smoke or drink, I'm a drinker, not necessarily a smoker. I used to be. That can even be more ambiguous because the invite already has a casual kind of social excuse attached to it. Let's just be honest. If I'm chilling with somebody, or if I'm at a party and I meet a whole bunch of new people, or if I'm a friend of a friend, I come in and I'm getting to know everybody. I'm even getting to know the actual host and even my friend who decides to want to leave. No, just stay, just have fun, get to know people, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. See you later. And the host, after I'm giving it a go, goes, hey, It was good meeting you, wrestler. Yeah, yeah. So and so always talked well about you. I'm happy to finally put a face to the name. Everything's good. All right, cool. You know, it was good meeting you. I don't know if we should shake. I don't know if we should hug. We don't really know each other like that. And as I get ready to go, you know, hey, wrestler. Yo, what's up? Do you smoke? Something needs to happen. It's a long night, party situation, maybe whatever. I'm just like, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? Appreciate you for subbing up, for joining up, becoming a member. Actually, appreciate you. So, and I could be like, you know what? I do smoke, but maybe I shouldn't, or be like, damn, not for nothing. I can look in your eyes. I can tell you wanna fuck. It could be. The question is, do you have enough communication skill or enough experience with people to be able to decipher and make a discernment of the difference? Can you do it? And I think for a lot of people, especially for people who are first forming their relationships online, they're not able to do it. It can be good medicine. It could be. Let me change my monitor for a little bit because I'm like a little bit off. Here we go. I feel like I'm looking a little bit further than I need to. And this matters, right? And a lot of people don't really want to look at it, what we could be using as not just a social experiment of other people, but also how we look at the people when it comes to our view. Because sometimes the way that we look at other people is the view that we have of ourselves. And this is not something that is easy to discern because it all becomes a part of why we're there and who we think of ourselves as. Is that fair? Is that fair? If I see myself as a model or a businessman or a person who has a lot of money or a person, oh, I just said model, as a person who is generally the tech or the underdog or whatever, we see ourselves in a different position. If I see myself as someone who is ugly, right? Let's be honest, your boy's not ugly. But if I saw myself as someone who is ugly, right? If someone was actively flirting with me, I may not see their conversational points to me as a matter of attraction because I would immediately start downplaying it. The same way how if someone walked up to a person who may not see themselves as attractive, they'd be like, you know, you're really cute. And they'd be like, no, you're to them, you're being nice. Like, oh, okay. You know, it reminded me of the scene of Night of the Roxburies, right? Hey, you guys want to go for a dance? And they're like, yes. And automatically was, okay, thank you for talking. He's like, they said yes. They said yes. Let's go. Let's go. If you're downplaying yourself, when actual attraction could even be coming your way, you won't even notice it. So sometimes the opinions that we have from other people are really just the opinions that we have of ourselves. And that's what I'm saying. Like we should think about this for a moment. If a person is scared to be wrong, they'll explain it right away. Same moment. Two people will have their own interpretation. They're different interpretations. And that's why I don't like when people reduce this to men can't take hints or women are unclear. To me, that's too simple. It's too simple. It's too unclear and it's too simple. The better question to me is, what are you using to decide what it means? Are you reading the person? Are you thinking about the history of this person? Are you reading the actual settings that you're within? Or are you really just reaching for hope? Or are you really killing the idea of hope in the first place? This is all about self image. Self image is very important for all of us. It doesn't matter where you go into, whether you want to go into sports, whether you want to talk about the partner you want to pick, whether you want to talk about your job, whether you want to talk about your own value and what you are worthy of getting compensated on, or how you look at yourself as a human being and what you should be tolerating as respect. Your self image, your self esteem, how you see yourself matters more than how other people see you. And unfortunately, the big drawback from social media is that you rely, or rather you get forced, or rather not even forced is really a thing, you become subjected to even a backwards indoctrination point where you may believe that your value, that your importance, that your self-respect, your self-image will come from other people online. And this has been so far from the truth. And I'm not talking about shame, because I think a lot of people start jumping really quick on shame, the shame that they have for themselves, the shame of disappointing others. I'm not talking about that. I'm I'm not talking about the motivational love yourself type of bullshit either. That's not the point. The point is that people interpret signals through how they already see themselves. This is the point that I'm really trying to, and again, as I'm saying this, I'm not telling you what is fact. I'm not telling you everything is up for opinions. Everything. But as I'm saying this to you, think about your own life. Think about people that you've interacted with. Think about the people that you've had conversations with. Think about you, even yourself. How do you view yourself when it comes to other people? Especially between that in real life and in online. How do you view yourself when it comes to dealing with other people, whether they are in a chat, whether they are on a panel, if you're the type of person, whether you're a content creator like myself and viewing people real time, or how you are in real life when it comes to your family, when it comes to your friends, when it comes to your partner, if you have a partner, when it comes to people that you work with, like your coworkers. How do you view yourself first? A lot of people don't take that into account. They're too busy worried about other people and not thinking about themselves. Appreciate you being here, James. A lot of people are so fixated on how the world sees them, which is not the world, about other people and how they see them, starting with their parents, by the way, but spend less time focusing on themselves. And I'm not here to tell you what to think about yourself. I'm not saying you deserve more, you deserve better, you deserve the best. I'm not doing that. I'm asking you to look at yourself. I'm telling you to take the time to just look at everything that's really important to yourself. Then think about all the people that's important to you. And then ask yourself, where do you fit on that totem pole? If you're at the bottom, do you deserve to be there? Will you ever be able to see the horizon if you're always down looking at the dirt? If you're in the middle, will you ever be able to help other people see the horizon who may be below you? And if you're in the middle and you're looking at the other people in your life that are above you, ask yourself, why exactly are they above you? What makes them stand taller than you? Why is it you can't be up there with them? The Chaos Queen in the building. Appreciate you being here, as always. So why is it we can't do that? Why is it, not even we, why is it you're not doing that? Again, not telling you anything otherwise, just some food for thought. This is the point that people interpret signals through how they already see themselves. A person who does not see themselves as attractive can have a real attraction in front of their fucking face. And they'll just only look at it as friendliness. In fact, they'll psych themselves out of it. They'll say, nah, she's just being nice. They'll say, he talks to everyone like that. They'll say, they didn't mean anything by it. Next thing is, sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're right. The problem is, the majority of the times, they will tell themselves that is the actual fact, and it may not actually be the case at all. Sometimes they are protecting an old image of themselves that no one else is actually looking at, because if they accept that somebody might actually be attracted to them, now they have to update how they see themselves, right? That is not always a very comfortable position to be in after you've been sitting comfortably in a position that honestly you didn't need to be in. You resided yourself to a position that no one else put you in, but you decided to sit comfortably in because you didn't see the results that you were looking for. Then you have the opposite person, right? They get a little attention, a little warmth, a little eye contact, maybe even a little bit of playful back and forth. And now they think they want me. Not because it's a strong signal between people. I agree, guard it 100%. Not because the signal was a strong one, but because they needed the moment to say something about themselves. So this is not only about reading other people, reading the other person. A lot of people are reading themselves into the moment itself. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is the uncomfortable part for a lot of people. I can tell you, as someone who is a naturally born introvert, I did not want to deal with people for so long. I had to force myself into a position to become comfortable dealing with people, but it was never an easy journey. It took me decades. To this day, I'm still rather an introvert in how I do a lot of stuff. So don't believe like, oh, it's easy for you because no. I'm still an introvert. I'm just a social extrovert. The way I can talk to you right now, the way I can talk to different people is social. On a regular time in my life, I'm to myself. So some people miss attraction because they don't believe it can be real. I understand that. I understand people who I talk to who are going through that. Other people invent attraction. This is very important. Other people invent attraction because they need it to be real, not because it actually is. And both people will swear they're just reading the actual vibe. No. Sometimes what you're reading is your own hunger. What you're reading is your own doubt. Like, you are reading your own ego and you're calling that bullshit intuition. I'll call it out. What do I got to lose? I've been watching, studying, reading, and conversing with people pretty much all of my life. That's not to say you should take everything I say with absoluteness. But if you understand that what I'm saying kind of reflects the way how you've seen a lot of people move and even yourself move, you should just think about it. Don't say what I'm saying is 100% and now you start attributing shit to yourself or to other people. I'm just asking you to give it some food for thought. I want to get into something else that's very important because I think a lot of people miss it. Because I've been saying this for a while, and that's how I got into this conversation. A lot of people don't understand communication. And so they jump to the first thing, whether it is to put themselves down, or whether it's to uplift themselves, or it's a perception of how they would like to be, but not actually is. I want to talk about flirtation in conversation style. I do this a lot. You guys know me, at least to the point where you guys have seen me do this. And this happens even in the real world with me. I have people who we naturally have a chemistry of flirting with one another, not because there's attraction, but because it's what we do. And there are people on the outside who don't really get that, and they go like, "Wrestler, must you flirt all the time?" And I go, "No, I don't need to flirt all the time, but it makes great conversation." Why wouldn't I flirt with you if it puts you and me in a great mood? This is why a lot of the ways why I talk to a lot of people, how conversations also become and stay honest. I don't know a person who is really uncomfortable with being flirted with. I only know people who are not comfortable being flirted with only if they see themselves, if they view themselves in a negative light. Even if they are the quote ugly duckling, to be able to have friendly or emotional flirty banter with somebody is something that they're willing to engage with. It's only someone that views themselves as an undesirable who takes offense to flirtation. By the way, not saying that everybody should be flirting with everybody in the world. I'm not doing that. We're talking about the communication part. We talked about the physical part, what's good, Lord ADS. And then we're also diving into online because online can also get very murky. Flirting is not always romantic. Some people flirt as a conversation style. I do it, and many people do it. We are playful. We tease. Some people, they throw out little comments. They like to make the room feel lighter. They want to make sure that people are not on edge. They want to make sure that people are feeling safe around them. They want people to both understand them, but also not take them too serious. I've had that dynamic before. Sometimes I even create that dynamic. Women I work with can know that I have a girlfriend, and still they provide that friendly banter with me, where others who are looking around might be thinking, she's a whore. She's still trying. Or think that something might be happening between the both of them. And that's not necessarily the truth. And sometimes you have to tell people outright when they catch you in private and be like, no, we're not serious. This is just how we talk. This is a problem when it comes to being online because people inside, especially as the viewers, cannot make a full diagnosis, or rather a good interpretation of the interaction that's happening and where the boundary is. People will watch only to see the sparks. That's different. The sparks are visible. The private agreement is not. And this is why observers often get the vibe wrong. They are not seeing the full relationship between the people. They are seeing part of what looks interesting to them. And this is why I don't think that flirting should automatically be treated like betrayal, attraction, or some sort of secret desire. What's good, Gatsby? I see Gatsby in the building. He said something. He said, "You are a great wrestler. You hear me. It doesn't matter what your interview. You are. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, Gatsby. Let me put that on screen for you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I'm just saying what I already know. That's all. Um, that was funny. So I think, like I said, a lot of people want to put you in actual relationships. Now, sometimes it's just how two people make conversation like less boring. Can we just be honest? It doesn't matter how. It's not a matter of really even how a person looks, or whether you talk offline or online, or whether you got my phone number or whatever. It's about how communication happens. And sometimes a lot of people don't look at this, especially being online. You could use a little bit of training when it comes to your communication skills, especially for you debate bros, because a lot of the debate mofos that I tend to see, run into, or otherwise have spent so much time downplaying, discrediting, and hating women that they can't understand or even want to engage with the friendlier aspects of conversations when it comes to dealing with women and flirtation, which is also another reason why a lot of other people, not me, not that I give a fuck, might look at you guys as gay. Because when seeing you online, when seeing your clips, when seeing your comments, when seeing your shorts, the only thing that you really have to say about women is negative. Then you turn around, you take offense when women and other men look at you and say, all you care about is about man's booty hole. Because every time I see you, all you do is argue and engage with men, and anytime you're in a room with a woman, you lose your goddamn mind. Which makes them think that you have no interest in women whatsoever. And you'll sit there and be like, well, that's not true. I got a wife and I got kids. Well, there is something called a beard. And if you anywhere have heard these fucking different situations before, there are plenty of gay men that have been in relationships who have children, right? Is this the type of stereotype? Is this the type of image that you would like for yourself? You already know that we are already in the time, in the space, in the culture of America where women, in general, not specifically, in general, have no problem whatsoever calling out the sexuality of a man. And when you have the spaces that do shit like, I only really want to do with men, or even to the point like a Myron Gaines, right? Pretty much promoting why the men that make the most money, who have the most money, who on average who make more money, are men that are gay. Because why? They don't deal with women. So if you really want to keep as much money in your pocket, what you need to do is you need to go gay, basically. And you need to be on, you just make them a whole bunch of money and be on Grindr. Because if you get with a fucking woman, you're going to lose all your money, right? And you run into all these different men who will also do everything in the world to shame women. And again, I'm not doing a whole women are great goddesses or whatever, because I could honestly say with the shit that I've seen, the shit that I've actually dealt with when it comes to women, y'all, I'll ring the bell on some of y'all too as well. Like, not for nothing. Don't think I'm just strictly bigging up y'all. I'm calling out the hypocrisies that I see on both sides. But mainly for men. Because the most of the time that I see the ones who talk, and I even talk about my own content, I have a lot of women who watch. I have a lot of women who have a lot of comments, concerns, all that different stuff when they talk to me. Whether they talk to me here online, in the chat, whether it's in the whether it's on Discord or whatever. But the majority of people who have the most amount of viewership and have the most amount of critique are other men. When women show up, they don't know how to behave. It's like being in elementary school, hearing a whole bunch of snickering or a whole bunch of noise or a whole bunch of weird, stupid shit when women are involved. Even when it's tailored for women, to women. It's like, do me a favor, guys. Sit the fuck down and shh. You have no problem with women are watching you, but you have a problem watching women. And then you'll talk about the 48 laws of power, the book over there. You'll talk about Sun Tzu, know thy enemy, but you can't shut the fuck up long enough to let that happen. But any day, drop me a link, wrestler. Drop me a link. I can't wait up. My balls is itching to come up there and argue with you. Flip it around. I ain't gonna go up there and argue with no woman. And then you wonder why it sounds a bit sus. You want respect from both men and women? How about you play the field the right way for both sides? You know, not for nothing, I had a project that was coming up, and I needed to hire a carpenter, right? I had plenty of people come through for this contract. At the end of the day, the person who really showed me that they knew what they were doing and had many examples and had the right references and everything for it was a woman. And it was a group interview. The men spent more time trying to convince me by asking her if she knew what the hell she was talking about. And every time they asked a question, rather than proving what the hell they could do, she openly displayed, had the references, and explained the process, which was actually correct. They didn't bother going through the methods that she did to actually explain why they are most credible. They spent their time trying to downplay her. So I heard, even through their own questioning, I heard her say all the things that she could be able to do. And all I heard was them, as if they were also interviewers. They were also competing for the job, by the way. Was doing nothing but asking her questions. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm going to hire her. You know why? Because she explained herself. And the question was for all of you. And you spent all your time after her questions. You dropped the ball. Like, you fucked up your own opportunity. You all guys got together to circle jerk one another against a woman. And she's the only one that proved herself to actually do something, because she not only talked about with confidence what she could do, but she answered every single one of your questions. That person right now is about to get hired to a company that just represented her too. And not for nothing, they pay really fucking well. You guys didn't get represented because you didn't represent yourself. The obsession. And she came in, by the way, very attractive young woman. And that's why I don't think that flirting should automatically be treated like it's a betrayal. Like anyone's around is strictly for attraction or desire. And she had feminine wiles. At least to me, looking at things, she even came up as sometimes flirty. I loved it. I thought it was very interesting. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of those men could not even see the subtleness in her flirtation. She was even throwing out signals to dismantle them, to disarm them. But when a guy got disarmed, another one amped him back up. And I'm just like, you don't see what's going on here? You don't Did you forget that you're all trying to compete for a job? What's going on here? And then some people just do this as a regular thing. There is nothing wrong, because this has happened in jobs. There's nothing wrong with people who like to have flirty banter. It is only uncomfortable for the people that are not receiving that attention. I think if two people are really getting along well, even if they look at themselves as work wives or work husbands or whatever, that doesn't make them guilty. It means that there is social behavior that has actually put them in that light together where they can work with each other. And it, for a lot of other people, social behavior has a consequence even when the intentions are actually rather light. Now, let's talk a little bit about something that's very important. I think this is probably going to become one of the meat and potatoes that I really got to talk about. And I'm looking at it as the people who play versus the opportunity. Because this is where it gets rather messy. This is where a lot of people they lose their points and they don't really understand where the line is. Because some men and women do not take play as play. Can we keep it a buck? Whether you've seen it yourself or whether you've been through it, can we keep it a buck, chat? Not everybody sees play as play. Some of us a little bit more than others. Some of us a little less than others. Because let's be honest, we look at it also based on how we see ourselves, not necessarily how we see other people. How many of you guys, let's just be honest and say, for those who are working, I don't know you guys who are specifically working in just male dominated fields, right? But for you women and also for you women and for you men in here, how many of you guys think that there was something going on between a coworker or a person within the company and it's really not a thing? Or even within yourself, that you just like flirting with somebody, whatever, but it's not a real thing. Or God forbid, I didn't even think about this one to say it, that you yourself thought that there could be something between you guys and it really wasn't. I don't think a lot of you really got to that point though. Because approaching someone and saying, is there something between us? Is not really something that takes place that often. Again, you don't need to tell me who they are, but just think about it for yourself. You don't need to answer me. Think about it for yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Tell the truth and shame the devil. There's probably moments like that. And not for nothing, online, it happens more than people think. Because like I said, there are some men and some women that don't understand play as play. Even online. And they see it as an opportunity. They see it as a real chance at a turn. One person thinks, we're joking. Ha ha. The other person thinks, this is not for nothing, this is my chance. He's beautiful, or she's hot, or he's handsome, or whatever. One person thinks, this is how we talk. And the other person is still collecting moments as evidence as to why this person wants them. It's a small thing that can become a big signal. Compliments are becoming permission. Little small laughs between each other are becoming signals. DMs are now being looked at as access to one another. A late night conversation becomes, we got something going on. This is me and Mrs. Jones now. That's always going to be, let me rephrase that. That is not always confusion. Sometimes people are waiting for a chink in the armor, a crack in the boundary. I don't really like the whole trying to dig your way out of the friend zone kind of situation. But it does happen. A lot of people find themselves there. And a lot of people put themselves there and then they trying to dig themselves out. And this applies, like I said, this applies to men and women. I have women who are close to me. What's good, KM? I have women who are close to me that they're like, why is it you never tried with me? And I say, because I put you in the friend zone. And this throws women off, by the way. Like, women don't believe that men can put them in the friend zone. And those women can be beautiful. Because sometimes it's not about how you look, but it's a matter of how you behave. You guys know me already. I'm all about human behavior. I have lots of friends, lots of female friends. Now, guys are like, men and women can't be friends. Well, it's probably because you hate women. I've hired a lot of women in my businesses. I've hired a lot of women. In fact, more women work harder for me than men do. More men tell me about what I'm doing wrong and have never been in my position. And more women work harder for me than anyone else. I have a lot of respect for how women move. I don't always respect the way that they move. But for those who are ambitious, I get it. But I don't always respect the way how they move. Because sometimes you do more than what's intended. Sometimes you read a little bit more than what's intended. Like, why? I was here doing all this work. I come into the da-da-da. I said, yeah, sure. You come in and you do your job. You do this, you do that. You know the right people, whatever. But when I see who is willing to put in the extra work to make sure that I am not confused and not just figuring it out, it's her. If I sit down in a meeting between you and her, you'll say, I got this done. Here's what it is. Here's the information. And I go, so what happens if this happens and that happens and this happens and that happens? And they're like, we'll figure it out when we come across it, right? And when I sit with her, she's like, here's what this is. And I'm like, okay. She's like, oh, and this here in case this happens, and this here in case that happens, and this in case this happens, and here. And I know you, Resla, so I was thinking about this too. And let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. And I'm just like, okay. When I don't know why, when it comes to ladies, you think not just about the situation, but you consider the person that you have to present to. Like, you try to get into my head, even though you don't know what the fuck I'm really thinking about, to be honest with you. But you go out of your way into possibilities that I might go into. Not that I've actually gone into it. And to me, it's the contingencies. It's the what ifs that matter a lot, especially when you're working in corporate America. And I don't really get that from a lot of guys. There are definitely guys who do that. But I don't get that from a lot of guys. It's about getting the initial job done, not about the jobs that might come afterwards. Yeah, take your point, take your pick. Some guys might say it's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort, but then this is why some of y'all are getting cooked in the market, right? Sometimes it's ladies who will call me, particularly before 10 p.m. Really before 9. That's why I tend to go late, go live at 9. But before 9, and say, I was just thinking about this. I'm sorry to call you. I'm sorry to bother you. I was thinking about this. This is what's going on. I just need the last push off on this before. And I'm just like, cool. KM, come on. You know, you call me after 9. You call me after 10, really. Especially if you call me around 11, I'm going to ask you, what? What you wearing? Do not call me. Don't call me. hey, Resla, I know I'm calling you late. I know I'm calling you late. No. Stop. Before anything else, what you wearing? I'm at the office right now. You at the office? So, are you wearing a thong? Are you wearing lace? Because this is booty call hours that you're hitting me up on. You shouldn't be calling me right now. So, you're cutting into my 10 hours where technically I should be either chilling or getting ready to go to bed so I can get 8 hours of sleep. Technically 6 hours of sleep for work. So you're cutting into that. So what we doing tonight? Resla, you playing? Like, there's no one except the office cleaners. There's no one here. Like, I just, boy, stop. I just need to figure out what's going on. Like, no. You decided to work late. I'm at home. Let me tell you what I'm wearing. I'm sitting in my gray sweatpants, thinking about what you look like right now. Are you wearing your dress pants or are you wearing a skirt tonight? What color is that skirt? Is it black? Is it gray? Is it cream? That sounds good. What you eating right now, huh? What you eating? You got some late night takeout? It was kind of late. Oh yeah, what you eating right now? Tacos? I like tacos. Sushi? I'm good with sushi too. What you eating? Like, do not call. Listen, you said it. Call before 9. Listen, y'all I feel not the gray sweat. When I'm done with this stream, gray sweatpants. When I'm done with this stream, gray sweatpants is coming on. It's right here waiting for me. I'm done with this stream, gray sweatpants is wearing. It's waiting for me. Stream is done, I'm wearing gray sweatpants. I'm changing. I'm getting comfortable. Y'all thought I was playing. It's on deck. It's waiting for me. I might even have to walk to the other room. It's here in the office. It's in the office waiting. It's ready to go. So don't try. Don't try me. Say a lot of things about me. Y'all not gonna turn around and say Resla he may embellish, he may do a lot of stuff, but Resla doesn't have a habit of lying. That's something I really don't know him to do. He may talk a lot of shit. Maybe even hard to verify some of the things, but I don't really know the guy to be a liar. So, a lot of people, let's just say in that conversation, right? Where I'm getting called by a certain person. I'm not going to say the name. This happens with different people. Let's say they're calling. And I'm like, so what you wearing? Come on, don't do this to me. I'm like, what am I doing to you? What am I doing to you? Now keep in mind, to many other people who know who I'm like, even if I'm someone that looked at, that they know and they need some information from, they're laughing because honestly, they're probably also going through a particular situation where they're stressed. I know coworkers who call me or they message me knowing exactly what they're about to get, but honestly, they need the healthy distraction. Honestly, Rachel, you probably I'm trying to, you're punching away at the keys like, oh, so stressing me out. I don't know. I don't want to call him. If I call him, I know exactly what's gonna happen. What I'm playing, I'm playing. I'm gonna call this boy. I could use some of that in my life. Hi, Resla. Hi. So You probably already got the answer already done on your computer. You probably got the whole thing up. Like, you already know what to do. It's like, so wrestler, I don't know what to do. So I'm a little stuck on something. So I was wondering if you could help me out. What am I wearing? Boy, stop. Stop. Yeah, you know exactly what you're doing. I'm a little stressed. Poor me. So you know exactly what you're doing, Rachel. You know what you're doing. You know exactly why you called. Now you're just trying to pass the time until when it's ready for you to clock out. Now you're just trying to pass the time. I get it. It's okay. But to the point, flirting can be used as just a simple part of conversation. So, wrestler, what you doing right now? I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm just writing right now, trying to get some content shit going. You know, I'm a little. Oh, so how's your content thing going? I'm like, I'm a little. I don't know. I'm doing a little thing, but I'm a little blocked out right now. I'm having a little bit of a writer's block. A writer's block. Okay. You know what I was thinking about writing, wrestler? I'm like, no. What are you thinking about writing? I was thinking about writing. You know, this is gonna sound a little weird, but I was thinking about writing your name, like as a tramp stamp right across my back, you know? Word? Like my name, like scribbled across the lower side of your back. That's you sure you should be talking about this at work right now, you know? She's like, well, technically, I'm just talking to a friend because, you know, you're off the clock right now, right? True. True. So, are you wearing stockings? Or do you have like the pull up? Like, I like the leggings that have like the suspenders that come up. You know, like, I like those, right? Like, hold up, and here you go, Rachel. You know, you pull up the skirt, you take a picture of the stockings. Take a look at your text. I'm sitting there like, you really trying to get that overtime, aren't you? Yeah, girl. You really want that overtime. Shit. You know what? Approved. And again, it could just be to get your minds. You're like, now you're in a good mood because you was really not in a great mood, and now you're like, you know what? Let me get up. Now you're like, you know what? I can finish this project now because I feel better about myself. And the sad part about it is you're gonna clock out. You're gonna flip your little car when you're done at the end of this trip. And here's the truth of the matter, Rachel. You're gonna get on the bus or the train, or you're gonna get in your car, and here's what you're gonna do. And you're gonna go, hi, honey. Yeah, it was a long night. I'm coming home now. Yeah, I miss you too. Love you. Kiss, tuck the kids in. That's what's gonna happen. You probably already got your man or your kids or whatever, and you're gonna sit there and tell them how you have to work late and you can't wait to see them and everything. After you just finished doing all that nasty shit and finishing up your report. It's all good. Listen. We say this all the time. We listen, we don't judge.
All right, let's just admit it. That didn't happen.
That's what we do. Don't listen to KM, by the way. She's done it a few nights. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So flirting is not a bad thing. It just, sometimes people use it as the motivation to get by a particular day. Sometimes we just use it as the friendly banter. Other time we say that we're just joking. Other times we use it as coverage. What am I drinking? I'm drinking beer. Specifically, I was drinking a Heineken. I am now drinking a Corona. I'm drinking beer. By the way, since I just advertised those, feel free to send me sponsorships. I could use the money. You know. Never in your life. I do not like that. Never. Not that. So sometimes we play a particular part for one person, and then we're doing a whole opening for another person. And this is why the weird joking is not always enough when it comes to people. Right? I think the better question is, are both people in this exchange playing inside the particular boundary that they have? Some people don't understand the boundary. I let people know, like, do not listen. I've let this know in the office. Do not call me. Technically, KM is right. Technically, KM is right. Technically, you shouldn't call me after 9 because I could be on a stream. Not that they would know that, but technically, I say do not call me after 10. The place could be burned down. If I go back to work and I find out the place is burnt down, we'll figure it out from there. But do not call me after 10. Because if you call me after 10, it better be an emergency, or you better be willing to tell me what you're wearing. So are both people inside playing within the actual boundary? Because if one person is playing and the other person is basically waiting, that is not the same interaction. Not just for them, but it's also not for everybody else. So what I like to tell people is to, because I've had conversations where people are, thank goodness it hasn't been like really professional conversations, but I've had conversations where I had to tell people to reset, especially like online, reset before setting an expectation of being online. I agree. I've had a lot of conversations with people like this. I haven't had it with everybody, and I like a lot of people just do what they want to do. But I've had conversations where I'm just like, you just need to really reset whatever you think the expectations are. Like, honestly, like reframe your streams, your conversations from real life. You know, like you guys get very ambiguous with what you think is reality. And this is why I said for so long, Cam, you one of my biggest documenters. You've heard me say a lot of people drag what's online and they bring that shit into real life and think it's gonna translate, and it doesn't. Now, take all of that, put it online, because I really want to focus more online right now. This is where it gets worse. I'm going to really focus on online right now. In real life, people might miss, or rather misread, two coworkers, two panelists, two people in the chats joking. Online, they will have people like KM clip that. I said what I said. They can comment on it later. They can ship that shit to someone else. They can spam it to other chats after creating an entire link, perhaps even on their own page. They can DM other people, look at this shit that was going on with Resla and this heifer over here. They can even start drama. Didn't Resla say he was in a relationship? He's a bad partner. They can. This is what it is. Online flirting is not just about two people anymore. Rachel, you laugh, you laugh, you laugh, but I've seen this too many times already. You laugh, but I've seen this too many times. Online flirting is not just about two people doing their own thing anymore, because the viewers, the audience, becomes the third wheel, the third leg, the third leg. Jeremy will love that one. The third leg, the third person in the actual room, and the viewer typically is not neutral, right? This is where the online triangle comes into place. Because when it comes to being online, a man, a woman can have a playful chemistry. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's just friendly. Maybe one person is more interested than the other person. Maybe both people know exactly where the line is. However, the viewer doesn't know that. You say it doesn't matter someone's business. I can tell you right now through my own personal accounting, there are people who are like, you two are not together. No, I want you two to get together. Resla, I don't care if you already have a girlfriend. I want to see you and this person get together. I've absolutely gotten that. More than one account. It's like you're being treated as a celebrity. But the funny part is that there are so many other examples in social media that shows that it doesn't work out well, and also some that actually does. The viewer doesn't always get the idea what's going on. The viewer only sees the vibe. And my point is that a lot of people cannot understand the intent, but also even be able to understand what is flirting and what is not, because they're only viewing it from their own lens on what they think flirtation is, not on the aspect of what flirtation means between other people, right? You said what? You said also like you can hear flirtation or jokes in the tone or the right. I agree with that. Yeah. A lot of people do not understand where flirtation is unless it's overt. Unless I literally listen, there are gonna be people who won't be like, you know what? Hey yo, hey KM, you're cute. You're cute. I think you could definitely be a woman that I might want to settle down with someday. A woman like you, I could settle down with someday. Now there are people who won't be like, oh my God, did you hear that, KM? He said he want you. It's all up in the air. It's ambiguous. Versus if I just said, you know what? Honestly, I ain't really hearing what you have to say. But KM, I dig you down any day, baby girl. Like there's a difference. It's overt now. Now I'm saying, if I see you, KM, it's on. You getting this work. Ain't no ifs, ands, just your butts about it. There's a difference. And most people, especially online, are so used to the overt. Like it's obvious. When I fly in, KM, I don't want to hear no hi Resla, how your flight being, are you jet lagged? I'm gonna say, you see this bag? Yeah. Stop playing around. Arch it. That's what people are so used to seeing, especially online. They really don't know anything else. Flirting is a subtle art. Either you see it or you don't. Like a lot of people don't really get it. That's exactly what they would see. If listen, KM, if I flew to your town and this is wrestler touring the U.S. kind of thing, and hey, here's KM. You and I were eating. We eat at a place. Maybe I meet some of your friends. I meet some of your family. Whatever. We're cool. And like, oh, you know what? Hey, you want to see the hotel that I was at? They got some weird shit. And you're like, you know what? That's cool. Let me go see the hotel. The chat gonna be scrolling like a motherfucker. Scrolling like a motherfucker. Oh, she going to his hotel room. You know what that means, right? Yeah, that's just gonna be. And they don't know anything. They don't know anything. And they were like, here's this, and they gave me a coffee maker, and here's the mini bar, and here's whatever. Ain't that shit crazy? I never had this in a hotel before. And you know what's gonna happen? Like we can say, so how you feel like? Try the bed, KM. I never had a bed like this. And then KM goes, wee! And she jumps into the bed and she's rolling around. She's like, this bed's so soft. I gotta buy me a bed like this. It's so soft. And like, yeah, that bed's soft. That bed is really soft. Like, yeah. Oh, okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. Hey, everything is good? Yeah. Okay, cool. You wanna buy a bed like that? We gotta call the front desk. What kind of mattress is this right now? Cause I was laying on it the first night, but now I went to go see a friend, and apparently she's laying on the bed, and she wants to know, like, this is like a Tempur-Pedic, or this is like what kind of bed? Oh, okay. It came from possibly a sponsor, Casper mattresses. Feel free to sponsor your boy. But it came from Casper. Okay. Hey, KM, letting you know, it came from Casper, not confused with Angry Casper, but Casper mattresses. Okay, that's cool. And then like, yo, this is a great stream, y'all. Great stream. We're doing good. Everything is Gucci. Everything is all right. Hey, yo, I see you in the building. Rachel, I see you in the building. Hey, yo, Resto, I see you in the building. Grace, appreciate you for being here, Grace. All those stuff. It's just me. KM is here, trying out the mattress. Everything is good. I'm a little tired now. I'm a little tired. It's been a great stream, y'all. It's been a great stream. Here I am. I'm about to cut it. Now I think that the stream is off, but really, it's just some sound in the background. You look really good on that mattress. Wrestler, stop playing. No, I'm saying you look really good in that mattress. You know what I think you look really great? You arch it. Arch that back on that bed. Stop playing. Wrestler, the stream's not over. Yeah, it's over. Don't worry about it. And if it ain't over, them cheeks is over. Wrestler, no, really, the stream's not over. Oh shit, people. Oh shit, my bad. The stream ain't over. Yo. We see you on the next one. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. You do the whole thing. And shit, my bad, y'all. And I'll see you. Disregard everything you heard. I'll see you in the next one. That's what you were basically. That's what you were basically like. OVAH, exactly, KM. Over OVAH. And look, ASMR coming. Like, but this is the problem for people who don't really understand those online connections, correct? What you supposed to do about that? Online, like I said, a man and a woman could have some chemistry. But it's different for a lot of people. For all you guys know, I ended the stream and y'all like, damn, he was absolutely clapping those cheeks. And for all you know, KM tried the bed and then we went to go eat at the Waffle House or something and it was all good. And Cam's probably like, you know what, you're gonna do stream led. Honestly, we did our stream. Everything's good. I think I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna get some rest or whatever. But what do you guys, the chat, thinking? You're thinking, when's the next time Russell gonna go live? In fact, you guys might be start making up some rumors and shit. You start typing in the comment section. You're like, damn, he ain't even go live later tonight. I bet you not. He ain't gonna go live tomorrow either. KM gave him that work, right? He not even going live tomorrow. He gonna be so tired. He gonna sleep to that fucking flight back to NY. Well, you say that. You say that. You say, oh, you already know how wrestler be doing. You mean I be long stroking? Is that what you mean? How I be doing? How you know? How you know, Kim? How you know? How you know? How wrestler be doing? You don't know. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Don't be making up stories, KM. Don't make up stories, KM. They don't need to know this. I'm making a stream right now. You don't need to talk about it right now, okay? Keep that on the hush, baby girl. All right? The fuck are we doing here? Well, what? They don't need to know none of that. The fuck? Verbally? Okay, verbally, yeah. Absolutely. Verbally. Nothing else. And many people get caught up. I can't stand this motherfucker. Like, you say that. I didn't say anything. I'm just looking at what your words were verbally. You said verbally. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. All right? And again, for a lot of people, especially the chat, they can't look at it any other way. They might see it as just a man and a woman just hanging out. If I just said, you know, for the longest, you know what? Hey, KM, me and KM is just the bestest of friends. Nothing wrong. We've been friends for years online. In fact, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go downtown. Gonna go meet KM in downtown. We're eating food. I might even be so comfortable with KM. I'm eating off her plate. She's eating off my plate. And the chat's going, look at them. They're nasty motherfuckers. They eating off each other's plate. I bet you wrestler did eat off her plate. And I just got to ignore the chat. But the chat's going to be the chat, right? They're going to start making jokes. They're going to see whatever. You know, they're going to do whatever. Like, hey. And I'm going to grab her bacon. She's going to grab my sausage. Off the plate. Off the plate, you dirty motherfuckers. Off my plate. She grabbed the sausage that was on my plate. You dirty-minded motherfuckers. But, like, you never know. Like, the way how the chat be thinking. So, it is what it is. I can't help it. We could be friendly banter, just friends, and the chat will think otherwise. And there's really nothing you can do about it because we're talking about the triangle. The triangle. Not a circle. A triangle, not a circle. It could be the square, but we're not doing the square because it's a triangle. It's not a circle, it's a triangle. Like that's what it is. And maybe one person, like I said, is more open than the other person. Maybe the other person knows exactly where the line is. It's not a daisy chain. No, it's not a daisy chain. But the viewers tend to take things where they want to go, right? The viewer only sees a part of it. They're going, why can't he stream all day? We can't trust, even if the stream goes down, because they're in a bad zone area, a bad signal area. Hey, the signal. Oh shit, the signal's going crazy right now. I can't really see. You know what they're gonna say? We don't believe you. I bet you by the time he gets the signal back up, he already done snuck his dick in. The viewers don't know shit. They're gonna make up whatever they want to make up. Hey, you know what? Guys, we're gonna have to end the stream because I only got like 15% battery life yet. They're gonna say, we don't care if you got 15%. Why didn't you come with a battery pack? Because I use the battery pack. I'm still don't have it. We don't care if you got 2%. You run it until the stream runs out. And if the stream runs out, I can't cancel the stream. It's gonna be running in just darkness. Oh, running in darkness, huh? You mean the darkness that you and KM is on? Like, There's no helping when it comes to the imagination, the jokes, the timing, everything of a chat, right? That's just the way it's gonna be, and that would be with anybody when it comes to social media. This is the behavior, this is the laughs, this is the joking, this is the lore that people want to build on social media. And I know, KM, I'm using the example, but there have been other examples. Even with me, there's been other examples. I'm not going to mention them, but there have been other examples. They can see two people who laugh. They can see people who show up, who's honest, and who just knows who's who in chat. They can be looking at to see who replies first and who's fast enough for it. They can see who uses what particular tone. That sounded kind of sexual, even though it really probably wasn't. They just look at themselves in their mind that it's sexual. They could start building a story off of something that's not there. And once the viewers build a story, they do not want to hear the truth. See, here's the sad part about when you're dealing with me. And I joke around with KM and I chastise KM because I love KM. But you hear that, right? Ooh, did you hear that?
Wait, what?
He loved him some crazy mama. And if I remember any parts of Resla Stream, he loved them crazy. I'm about to make up a whole story about him and Cam. Because he loves them crazy. Her name's Crazy Mama. It go fucking figures. You know? He says he hates her, right? But honestly, he said, how do we know it's not hate fucking, right? Like they'll make up anything. They'll become amateur storytellers. Amateur. Look at Miss Raven. Look at this Raven. Clip that, KM. Look at Miss Raven. Ain't that some bullshit? Look at this. Look at this. That's crazy. Yeah, no, exactly. Dragonfly Jones. Look at them. They could be looking at the body language. What's going on with your body? With your body. Looking at the body language. They're gonna break down your body, piece by piece. That's like, and make their whole story up. They want the story to keep feeding them. They're making up their own story. And there are content creators that, not even content creators. They're just people online who feed into their own story. They feed into their own story. They tell themselves, she want me. Not that she or he has even said so. They want me. The way they flirt with me all the time, the way they talk to me all the time, they want me. I know they want me. Shit. If I was them, I would want me. They make up shit. They will do and not for nothing. This is just what happens between the two. What happens when you get the third? When you get the triangle? When you get the triangle? What happens when you get the triangle? It's no parts of the triangle know what the other part of the triangle is talking about. He or she could be thinking, we're just doing it. It's friendly banter. The other side's like, yeah, they want me. Yeah, he wants me. He want this pussy. He want she want this dick, right? Yeah. And the viewers are like, technically, like, they really don't like each other like that. Or, I can't wait to hear when they fuck. Pause for a moment, right? You can't wait to hear when they fuck? What if the guy or the gal are both in relationships? What if the guy or the gal are both married and not to each other? Like, y'all don't care? Let's be honest. You don't. In fact, you love it more because now you have more lore, More lore for the whores who turned around and did infidelity in your mindset to build your story that you already fed yourself. You're gonna be like, look at her, look. She has a husband, he has a wife, she got kids and he got kids, and they got a little dog too, and he got a dog too, and here they are. So you can make up your story, and I can't wait. Can we find out who her husband is? Can we find out who his girlfriend and his wife is? So that we can turn around and we can send them all of the pictures and all of the streams and all of the comments that were happening in the chat. So we can, after we tried so much to get them together, it's outran its course. Now we need them to break up. Because that's what makes me feel better. Because as much as I love a fucking good coupling together, nothing makes me feel better than seeing something split apart. And I've seen this all over social media. Y'all did it with Kai Cenat. Y'all did it with iShowSpeed. You done it with celebrities online. You like, even when people online say we want you guys to get together because we think you will be a great couple, at some point, both women and men want to see those couples break up. Because deep down, you want people to come together to become happy, and then you want to see them miserable. So you're like, I need you to break up because I want to see you miserable, because I can't have you doing better than me. I can't have you doing better than me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you said you said what? The spouses are going to get called from. Oh yeah, from absolutely. They gonna be going to work, and somebody's gonna come from behind the dumpster. Shh. Do you know so and so? I don't know you, and you don't know me, but they're gonna run up on them. You don't know me, and I don't know you, but your partner's cheating on you. Here, give me your arm. I'ma write this URL. HTTP, call it / They're gonna write the whole link out. They're gonna have it in their head. Track down the partner. They're gonna have to remember the whole link to the stream in their head. / www. Does that hurt? You got tattoos. You man up or woman up. / www.youtube.com /Resla / carry the 2 WP WZ 45789 NMNOP Resla Big Dick Daddy. Check out that stream that's written now on your arm all the way up to the tippity top of your forearm, and you can see where your wife is a whore and has been cheating on you, and I think that you can do better. All because you don't understand how flirting works. You misunderstand flirting. You misunderstand communication between two people. As the outside tip of that, you're tippy-topping and you're shitting on both these people. Turn that this. And you know what we turn this to? Like, you see this? You see this? You think it's a win. It's not a win, though. It's an L. I'm gonna break up their marriages. And then you're gonna go, you're gonna eat the popcorn, and the chat's gonna go crazy. They're gonna, oh my god, they're gonna try. I just got news that so and so, it's anonymous, that went to your husband, and your husband confronted you, and your wife confronted you, and they said you are a whore. They're gonna be talking in the chat. I did that. That was me. That was me. I did that. That's gonna be y'all. Then you're gonna want to subscribe to their separate pages so that you can hear the husband telling about get the fuck out of my house, and the kids about how could you, mom? How could you? Or the other side telling about get the fuck out the house, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. I pay bills here. I pay bills here. I'm gonna call the cops. Da 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 da. And then you destroyed people's lives because you wanted to build your own narratives. Now, before we get going, I had to take a small break. Do I not entertain you? You see how well my imagination goes? Do you see how far my imagination stretches? I should be writing a book, by the way. My imagination goes so far. Do I not entertain? That's how quickly my imagination could just run wild. Come on. Who else could be so quick-witted to just give you that? Come on. Just totally segue and still stay on point. We got to be very careful about, as individuals, how we look at interpersonal, or rather parasocial relationships that happen online. Because sometimes the things that we happen are not just between one another, but also about how the other person is viewing us. Which is why, for those who've been watching me long enough, you see me be online, especially when it comes to other people on panels, right? And I say, hey, I know you think I'm just having a conversation with you, but I'm also paying attention to who? Who? The other people who are listening. I'm aware of the triangle. Most people only see a point-to-point connection. I'm always looking at the triangle. I say that so often. You can catch me on so many different streams, especially with streams that have to talk about people interfacing with each other. I always go, you think I'm just talking to you or you're just talking to me? But I'm trying to be very cognizant about what I say because I know there's other people, you guys, watching at the end of the day. Most of the time, other people are so quickly to try to beat, to get the W on other people across on the other side on the internet, on that screen, or that talk, or that speech, on the speech bubble that happens in these spaces, in these verses. And I'm like, you're not paying attention to the other thing that's really important. The person watching us. You think this is a personal thing. And we're talking about what? Personal conversations. Now, yes, we're talking about in terms of flirtation, but this is why I say, there's so much that happens in conversations, even in flirting, and I'm gonna dive back into flirting. I haven't lost the plot. That people don't understand about conversations because people think that flirting is overt, and you know it when you see it. And most people do not. And people outside of that, sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. People are more used to overt communication than subtle communication. And the internet mainly portrays overt communication, not subtle communication. So if me and Kay just hook up and I can't have a stream and a guy who's filming me or gal, ladies, y'all do filming too, follow me 24th century, blah, 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 whatever, never running out of battery power or whatever until I get back on a fucking bus or train or whatever, or airplane to fly out. It's most likely going to be airplane. I don't really like thick buses. Then you're going to be like, you see that? When the camera went dark, I bet you they hooked up. I bet you they hooked up. She wants him. He likes her. they be cute together. And at first, you know, maybe that sounds harmless online. Then it becomes a story. Now, every look, every glance, every so-called agreement means something more than what it needs to be. Every silence means something. Every reply means something. Every absence. Why she's not there? Why he's not there? I bet you there's something happening. And the people watching start acting like they have a special access, a special ring seat to this relationship, to a relationship. That they are actually insiders. They're flies on the wall. Zephyr, what's good? I ain't seen you in a while, Zephyr. Inside. And it's not reading the actual behavior that's taking place. It's not turning fragments. Rather, they're turning fragments into an exact plot. They're turning fragments into a plot that's not there. Now, this is why I'm saying I'm going to get down to it. Viewers do not always want people together. A lot of viewers who will say that they want two people to hook up do not actually want them together. Maybe they just want you to screw, to be honest with you. Maybe they just want the tension. Maybe they want guessing. They want a clip. And not for nothing, if they were just talking about being KM, then she's perfect because she's already know that I want to do that OnlyFans. So maybe they just want the clip. Honestly, I've met Zephyr, so maybe you want the OF of that. You know, like, listen, not you. If you know when it comes to Zephyr, right? If you know. So maybe you want the OF account. Maybe you want that Sunday Suds Day. Listen, we already talked about it. Maybe you want that. Maybe you want the Sunday Suds Day, and like this stream is me and so me. This one is me and so Sunday Suds Day. A clean Zephyr. Sunday Suds Day. A clean KM. Cleaning KM. Cleaning Zephyr. Like, who knows what it is? Like, the fact of the matter is, this you guys will start saying, I want to see this. I want clips. See, the only problem is that because I'm very vocal about what I'm doing, is that I gotta break them off with some money. They're participating, so I gotta break them with some money. You know what I mean? You know. Hey, how much is your OnlyFans? You know, and you got my ass on the market, right? Literally and figuratively. So I need for how many people are watching me and how much you get. I need some money off of this. I need some money off of my snatch. And I'm like, you know what? Especially, I need to see the retention rate of whether you finish on or finish in. And I'm like, you know what? That means it requires like 2 different videos. So maybe there's like a 2 video segment to like you know, like KM part 1, KM part 2. And like we just leave it from there. And depending on which one that they like the most, that's the one you really get the most money from. Like, you know, like, hey, Zephyr part 1, Zephyr part 2. And by the way, don't think you're left out of this, Rachel. So, like, you never know. Like the point is, there's no AF right now. There's no OF right now. But people will turn around and say, I want the clips. I want the video. Can you, hey, hi, KM. Hey, Dragonfly. Hey, Miss Raven. Anyone who's a mod, can you drop the link? I want the link to the OF. I tried looking in the description box. I noticed it wasn't there. I thought that he would have like a link tree or all my links section in his YouTube bio, but it's not there. Can anyone drop the links to the OF? I want to see it. I got at least $100 to my name. I want to see it. What am I supposed to do about that? They want the feeling, they want the feeling of predicting something before everyone else has. And if two people actually do get closer, now the audience has a new game. Keep it above. Now they start trying to break it apart. Now they start, oh, I heard that you were sleeping with so-and-so. I heard you guys might be an item. Now they start leading him on. Now the feeling, the collaboration between these people start getting weird. Now somebody's getting jealous. Now somebody is using somebody else. I saw so-and-so on someone else's platform, and they were flirting really hard with them, and they didn't say that they was in a relationship with you, wrestler. How you feel about that, huh? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Well, didn't you two clap? I'm like, who said that? Really? You don't really feel that way? Well, let me go pull up this old clip. An old clip starts resurfacing of the flirting, or God forbid if there was an OF. Now they go resurfacing, start showing the OF. Well, you guys used to fuck, right? Yeah, but maybe we don't fuck anymore, and maybe we're good with each other. We're still cool. Are you though? You can't get that pussy no more, right? What do you mean can't get? Maybe I just don't want the pussy no more. Just be honest, wrestler. She ain't like your dick, did she? But this is where all the everything they try to break up, try to cause dissent, everything that doesn't need to be. Now everything needs to become trolling. Now everything needs to become a joke about evidence. The same people who encourage chemistry from the beginning has now become investigators with the sole purpose, the dynamics of breaking your shit down for fun. And that tells you, it was never really support from the jump. What's good, mama? It told you it was never support from the jump. The entire aspect was all about control. They didn't want the people. What they wanted was the storyline. And this is why online dynamics get really unstable for me. The audience rewards the tension. They push the tension. They feed into the story. And then they act fucking shocked when it starts affecting the actual people that were actually involved. This is the nasty part that people don't want to admit to. The viewer says, I'm just watching. No, you're not. Sometimes the viewer is actually the people that are steering shit. That's my point, KM. Nailed it in one. Nailed it in one. More truth than could be said. We're talking about when chemistry becomes public property. Because once chemistry becomes content, it stops belonging fully to the people inside of it. And this is where the problem actually starts. Because now the audience thinks that they get to vote on it. They have a decision within it. They think that they get to decide whether they can talk shit and it's harmless, or whether they can actually say something that's actually effective. They think they get to decide whether somebody has crossed the line. Not whether the people that's actually in that relationship gets to cross the line. They make the decision on it. They think that they get to decide what it looks like, what it means to them. They think that they get to decide whether someone's relationship is safe or is toxic or whatever. And this is where creators really have to be careful, but most of them don't take the time to really think about it because they're too busy, like any relationship. They're too much in the cutie stage that they don't think about defending their position. A little playful back and forth gets turned into engagement. People comment, people clip, people come back and say, something is happening here. So even when the creator says, guys, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, it's not that serious. The content may still be underneath it saying, I'm still gonna take this seriously. That does not mean that every creator, by the way, is manipulating people. It just simply means that for a lot of people who are viewers, there is an incentive that is there. And when the incentive is there, you have to pay attention to how the dynamic is in real life and how much of it is being fed because the chat, the room, the comment section, the narrative on other people's streams likes to react to it. There is a cost. It's not just about the engagement, but it's also a cost that people need to look at. Because people will start protecting the storyline more than the actual people that's within the story. How people should be reading this, how people should be looking into those stories, honestly, it's too clean. Most people won't, because most people, as I've said before, are more interested in the chaos, the structure, and then the most importantly, the breakdown. Especially the internet is not really interested in and they lived happily ever after. What they want to say, and the bridge burned forever. That's what they want. Not they did all this, they overcome all the stuff, and they overcame different people, and they said, you can't stop our love, and we did all this other stuff or whatever, and they walked away happily ever after. That's not what the internet is typically looking for. They came together and it was doing good, and they were a great power couple, and then there was so much stuff that was going on, and then they crashed and burned, and they hate each other forever. The end. That's what they look for. That's what they look for. So I would say be very fucking careful if you're a person who develops relationships online. And also, most importantly, why are you developing relationships online? So how should we be reading this? Just a question. How should we be reading this? I think if anything, you can separate 4 things. You can separate the signal, you can separate the setting that's in, you can separate the kind of style that's being used, you can separate the intention. Because a signal is something that you notice between each other. You have to pick up on something. The setting changes the possibilities. Is it work? Is it after work? Is it something you agree with? Is something online that you both agree to? Is it the setting like of the panel or the topic within the panel or the chat or whatever? The style is is how someone naturally interacts with it, because not everybody's a natural flirt or a natural back and forth or naturally witted or whatever. And of course, the intention is what the person is willing to take ownership of. Most people mix all four of these signals. They mix them all together. They see a signal and they call that shit intentions. They see what the setting is and they call that permission, because it's a flirting stream or it's a relationship stream. It means I can flirt. You got to understand the context of what relationship stream is. It doesn't mean it's a stream where you now get to shoot your shot, because you don't know the context of what the stream is. Some people will look at the style of how people interact with them and will say, they're attracted to me. They see public chemistry and they start acting as though they know all the private truths that happen between the people that are there. That is where a lot of people get shit wrong. If someone is flirting with everybody, that should tell you something, other than the fact that you think they're a whore. That should tell you something. You should read the room or know what their character is like. If someone is only flirting with one person, that tells you something else. If the flirting gets more private, that matters. If the flirting gets denied every time someone clearly shows up and clearly shows out, that also matters. Oh, Pen's in the building. What's good, Pen? And if the viewers, if the audience is louder than the two people who are actually involved, that might tell you something about the story that is being built outside of what those two people's relationships are. Not within it, outside of it. The question is not, are they flirting? That's not the question. The question is, what is the flirting doing? Is it creating a connection? Is it keeping the conversation alive? Is it testing their boundaries? Is it feeding the audience? Is it giving one person access? Is it giving one person access that they would not have had in any other instance? These questions should tell you more than what the initial feeling is of what you want. These initial questions should really come down to the last one. Do they really like each other? Now, I want to talk about the controlled audience interaction. I gotta bring it to you guys, because you guys are really at the end of it, the ones who I've set up to be some of the stewards as to how shit gets the way that it is, right? Before I get into that, because I got a feeling I can really go in when it comes to this one. I was looking at my notes. I'm trying to find my notes now, because I know I talked about this before. I was giving myself notes about this. You said what? What you said, Zephyrs? I saw something that flashed by. It said you were saying something about Vegas. I love in real life. Fallout in Vegas. Oh well, yeah. No, I get that, Zephyr. I think Vegas was just Vegas was definitely something that just it didn't need to happen. Sure, there were some things that turned out to be okay, but other things I think could have been turned out to be way much better. Give me a quick second because I gotta find these notes and I'm gonna dip real quick so I can use the bathroom. Uh, literally like 2 ticks, and then we'll go from there. All right, just give me a sec. We're gonna do this. That will play through, and yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's what you do to me. You made me wanna leave the space I'm in, start a whole new situation with you. This is what you do. Got me checking my phone like there's something I missed. Every time you slide through, you make me. Ooh, you make me wanna stay up way too late, reading every little thing you say. This is what you do. Got me thinking about you more than I probably should, and that ain't good. You make me. Before anything strange happened between us, you was just somebody I talked to. Little back and forth jokes on the post, nothing deep, nothing I thought through. And somehow every time my screen light up, I'm hoping somehow that it's you. Even when you're irritating me, I still read every word straight through. And honestly, I hate that part, that little rush when you appear. Half the time you're getting under my skin, other half I want you near. Now I'm sitting here replaying conversations at like 3 a.m. Trying to figure out if this tension means something or just internet again. You made me wanna leave the space I'm in, start a whole new situation with you. This is what you do. Got me checking my phone like there's something I missed. Every time you slide through, you make me. What's bad is you know exactly what you're doing. Every little jab got into.
All right. So let's talk about the let's. I want to make sure I did that properly. Okay, I did. So I want to talk about you guys, the control that you guys have as the audience when it comes to that. I want to bring the chat into it, and I feel like I have to say this every time. Yes, I wash my hands. I know some of y'all not very cleanly, but whatever. That has nothing to do with me. But I want to bring you guys into this, right? And actually, allow me to be clear. I'm not doing the the thing where people start naming random creators or diagnosing their relationships like they actually know them. I'm not doing any of that, right? Because that would be lazy. Be lazy on my part, and I'm really not one for that. We can talk about patterns if you like. We can talk about examples without pretending we live inside someone else's house. I think that's fair. So the questions are, have you ever seen people online push two people together, and then have you ever seen two people push two people together and then turn on that dynamic later? Have you ever seen that? I can tell you I have. That's the first question, right? I wish I had these written down. I could have popped up on the screen or whatever. So, have you ever seen two people online be pushed together just so people can turn to ruin that dynamic later? That's the first question. All right. You said most deaf. Zephyr says yes. Cousin Dragonfly says yes. Pen says yes. I think a lot of us have actually seen that. Whether we look at it as something, and I mean specifically online. I'm not even talking about like celebrities. I think we've all practically seen that take place, right? And who knows? Who knows? To be honest with you, maybe some of us or even that other individual, right? Who knows? The world is vast. I never know who's really watching or who's really relates to. Now, second question: do you think viewers actually want people together, or do they just want a storyline? Second question for you guys: do you think the viewers, the audience, actually want people to be together, or do they just want a goddamn storyline? This is a question for you. You said they just want, okay. KM says they just want the entertainment. Okay. Okay. Penn says they want the plot. Okay, okay. Got you. Yeah. Yeah. Ira taught me in the back. Bad matchmaker. Yeah. Haven't seen it, but okay, okay. You said both. Okay. Okay, we got a both. You said they give both. 0 fucks in her opinion. Okay. All right. Third question. At what point does friendly flirting become disrespectful to a relationship? Say that one more time. At what point does friendly flirting become disrespectful to a relationship? So imagine you got two people online. They know that they have, because we're talking about online. Yeah, they know, one person knows that they're with somebody else, whether they know the person or they just know they marry or whatever. At what point does the friendly flirting become disrespectful to that person's relationship, guy or gal, boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage? When does it, to you, when does it become disrespectful? That the friendly flirting, when does it become disrespectful? I think this is going to be very nuanced for a lot of people, because I think a lot of people are going to look at disrespect very differently. Okay, so Penn, you say when clearly stated or discussed boundaries are crossed. Okay, it's a bit generic. Sorry, Penn. You said or when clearly stated or discussions or boundaries are clearly crossed. It's a bit generic. Okay, but I could take that. Let's see. You said it's according to each individual. To be honest, our boundaries are different. Okay. Okay. That's actually not bad at all. Okay. Let's see. Zephyr, you say I wanted people to. Okay. You say you wanted the people to hit it off, but you're a little behind. You're a little behind. I got you though. I got you. I got you. Dragonfly Jones says, when the exchanging of information occurs, emails and text messages. Ooh. That's a very strict area. Huh. Because I think there's a lot of people who flirt, who go into emails, text messages, phone calls, and you say that's the point of disrespect. Okay. Interesting. I think we're not surprised, but we understand that a lot of people go past that point and don't think it's disrespectful. Okay, that's cool. That's cool though. That's cool. Let's see, Miss Raven. You said the moment you start to feel uncomfortable and let the other person, I'm guessing you said let the other person know. Oh yeah, you said you wrote it underneath. Okay, let the other person know and they continue. Okay. All right. Pen again. You said when flirting goes private. Do you believe that a lot of flirting is public? I get. Well, that was a separate question. That's not a question I was really thinking about until you said it. I think there's a lot of flirting that happens online. I think there's a lot of flirting that may start online but continues heavily offline. So when you say when it goes private, I think a lot of the flirting really happens privately, to be honest with you. I'm just saying. I mean, did you not just hear what I did you not just hear what I was playing a long time ago? I've gotten, by the way, I've been questioned about this song. I've been questioned a lot about this song that I made. I've been questioned from at least 3 people about this song. By the way, Pen, just gonna let you know, I had to let someone very particular that we know, I had to let them know you were not the person I was talking about in this song. I had to let them know you were not the person I was referring to in this song. Anyway, so just for the record, I had to let people, in case you guys are wondering as well, the person I might be referring to in this song was not Penelope. So I just felt like I had to say that for right. Nothing wrong with Japan. Just feel like I needed to let people know that it was not the case. So I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about, and I will refute or deny anything that you have to say. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. Not at all. Miss Raven says she made a great point about that. I think it was a pretty solid point, to be honest with you. When you said that a person feels uncomfortable and you let them know and they still kept on, I think it's a pretty solid point. Zephyr, you said when someone gets offended if they don't answer their DMs as quickly as they expected. That's great. That's when the line is crossed. Oh man, he said, or when they're acting like I'm still sliding them. Okay. This sounds, Zephyr. This sounds really personal. It's oddly specific. Oddly specific. I feel like I want to put that out there, Zephyr. This one was oddly specific. To each their own, you know. You fake flirt with I fake flirt with you, but not privately. I mean, have I really opened the door for you to flirt with me privately, Pen? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm leaving that alone. So, wait, what? What happened? Wait, see, I would never ask you that. None of the. Listen. I hear you. This is why I said if I flew out to CKM, no one would ever know. Like,
wait, what?
If no one would know. So you know, if I flew out to CKM, you know, nobody would know. It is what it is. Like, it's nobody's business. You know. Yeah. You're a secret keeper. What's a little spinal fluid between you and a friend? You know what I mean? I got you, Cam. It's all good. So, she said, Zephyr, I suck at responding to DMs. It's not the only thing. So I'd rather have a lot of people pissed off at me. So it is what it is. Let's see. I'm at a point now where, I mean, see, if you tag you as a woman and you ignore it, that goes with a sign of flirting. I mean, to a lot of guys, it probably is. You know, I kind of feel the same like you do. Like you don't really pursue, or you kind of just leave it hanging there. You know. But you said, let me stop trolling. I mean, so we'll just leave it at that, you know? I could tell, Zephyr. I know you was thinking about something. You was thinking about a very particular person who remains unnamed because, you know, yeah, hoping to stop that shit. Yeah, you know, we're we're not talking about Kev at all. Anyway, um, damn, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Wait,
That
what?
was crazy. I didn't mean to say that. Anyway, so what was I saying? Penn said KM said KM. Did you just announce that you're a rational side chick? That was crazy. That was crazy. What else? What else was I saying here? Uh, oh shit. Speaking of this motherfucker right here. Speaking of, he threw up the he threw out the back still. He did. He just got called. He threw that back to like it was the old Adam West fucking Batman. This nigga got called in real quick. That was crazy. He just came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. That was wild. A Penelope. Do you believe her? Do do you believe her? Do you believe her, Pen? Come on, come on. It is what it is. So, oh no, is it BS though? Is it BS? No, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. So, it is what it is. I find it so interesting. Like, no, I didn't. I was not expecting that. That was crazy. You said wrong simp. Wrong simp. That is crazy. That is wild. Nope. Wrong simp, I guess, is wild. Oh, that is crazy. I did not expect to see that. That was wild. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I did not expect that. Yo, kudos to Zephyr. That was low key. That I did not expect that. That was great. That was great. Oh shit. Oh shit. That was wild. Oh my gosh. That was good. Came out of nowhere. That was left field. That was left field. I ain't gonna lie. Oh shit. So when I'm thinking about you guys who are in the chat, when you look at people online, when you hear how they flirt or the things that they want or the things that they so-called promise, I like to be very clear and be like, listen, a lot of people like to say random things or like to do random things, and there's nothing we should look at and try to diagnose them for. At the same time, I think there are a lot of people who don't understand the communication, the intricacies of flirting, right? So, for instance, Penelope said it here in this stream, right? It's not my fault. You said it. Penelope and I have a a loving, tender relationship online, right? I guess.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I guess. And we don't take it offline because if we did, she'd have to ring the bell. It'd be over. It'd be a wrap for her. So I understand. We keep it strictly platonic. We keep it very loving and tender because if she and I were really spending time in a room together by ourselves, the same way how I mentioned in a particular story that maybe KM and I would have done, then not for nothing, it would be exactly KM. OVAH. Only thing you would understand, folks, is that I would have to kill the stream and you would just get
The following moments may contain explicit language.
because there will be a lot of shit fucks and oh god and fuck, oh fuck me and everything else going on. So that couldn't be a thing. So, you know, that couldn't be a thing. Wait. You said wait. Wrestler, don't act like you didn't try to fuck around and find out why Blind lost his marbles. I didn't. First of all, I didn't try to find out. Let me tell you why I didn't try to find out. I didn't care. That's why I didn't try to find out. I just didn't care. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to take my soundboard. Listen, I had a lot more wild sounds than this. I had to put them away. I had to erase them. I didn't think they were safe. I had to erase those sounds because I thought they were not safe at all. You'd be surprised how many sounds I had, you know? I had to wipe out like more than half of my soundboard. All right. The shit I had up here was crazy. I was like, I'm about to set myself up to be demonetized. So I was like, let me scale back a little bit. Let me scale back a lot of it. You know, I felt like I was in bed with some of y'all hussies. It was too fucking deep. It was too deep. It was too deep. I had to pull back. I had to pull back with all the sound effects I had. Shit. Some of y'all used to hear sound effects that I don't play no more. I pulled it back for a reason. Because I know my mentality. I got sound effects I'm still lining up that I'm reviewing. It's like, do I really want to use this? Ugh. So, you know, hey, be careful what you ask for. You know what I mean? So I like the fact that you mentioned that because I mentioned it earlier in the stream, Zephyr, that there are many. Here's the truth of the matter. You say many men think women and men can't be friends together. I've said it for so long. That's bullshit. Do you know that literally as of yesterday, a friend of, first of all, long time friend of mine, she literally sent me a screenshot, and we're so much longer than that, to be honest with you. But just on social media, it said that we're celebrating 17 years of knowing each other. Keep in mind, it's longer than that. It's actually longer than that. It says 17 years just based on her timeline, but it's actually longer than that. I don't have a problem being friends with women. I just think that like everybody, you have people in their own boundaries. I was surprised when she sent it to me. She's like, "Oh shit, wrestler. No, you know wrestler for 17 years." I was like, "No, it's been longer than that." But social media says that we've been up for 17 years. And again, someone who I talk to this day. Till this day. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, wrestler, you know what that means, right? You know what that means, wrestler? That's your soulmate." And I go, "You know what that means, right? That's the one you're supposed to get married to." "Oh, wrestler, you ain't hit that. You ain't hit that already, nigga. You." No. More than likely, probably not my soulmate. No. Did not blaze it out. Didn't get her back hurt. She is pain-free due to me. Like, y'all can chill the fuck out. And we've been great friends. Someone I definitely value her opinion. Oh, this nigga. So with all the other women around, I need to fuck everything in my distance, right? Again, happy that this person is not a part of my online quote relationships. You know what? Let's give her a round of applause. She's actually real. Let's give her a round of applause. Cause you motherfuckers, it wouldn't be good enough. Y'all be like, oh, he did what? He did what? He was with who? We need to see. We need to see her now. We need. We need to do it now. We need to see it now. Hey, you know what? KM. They start talking to KM. KM, can you do us a favor? Can you write it down? Can you write it down to make sure that that goes on the Sundays? And I'm going to say, KM, disregard that. But knowing KM, she's going to write it down anyway. You know, I don't care. You do what you want, but the chat kind of has a point. And I'm going to like, the only point that the chat can have at that one is the tip of my. Now, we got KM, possibly Zephyr, and not for nothing, might have to add Pen to Sundays. Hey, Pen, you walked in a little bit later, but I'm pretty sure Cam can give you she can give you all the details, you know. She can give you the details to the Sundays. She'll give you the link. You can set up a time. You can set up a commission to get that all taken care of. Just know. We got 3. And if you want to be a future participant as well, you know, you just got to go to IamResla@gmail.com and get you set up. Get you set up. IamResla@gmail.com. Link is in the description. We can get you set up. You know what I mean? She said hit her up via Discord the same way I hit her up through Discord. Or is that true? No, that's not true. I don't want you guys building a story. Sorry, KM. That's not true. It never.
All right, let's just admit it. That didn't happen.
It never happened. It never happened, folks. It never happened. We play. That never happened. It never happened. Just never happened. So I'm gonna blame it on the alcohol. That never happened. Never happened. So, damn. I mean, there might be room for you. I mean, not for me. Maybe there's a part of the business where that might be something we can slide you towards. But for me, the phone calls, it's not enough. It's not enough, Pen. It's not enough. I'm a physical guy. You know what I mean? You know, I'm like the Marion. Doom, doom, doom. Touch. Doom, doom, doom. Touch. Doom, doom, doom. Touch. Doom, 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 doom. That's me. Like, I touch. I can't just deal with the phone call, you know? I can't do no phone calls. I can't do no over the phone. Like, I gotta touch. So. I deal with people. You can go ahead with that DM, but I'm like, girl, I got to let it touch. Gotta get you in the room, girl, and let it touch. Doom, 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 touch. Doom, 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 touch. Doom, doom. Ooh, wrestler, touch. Doom, doom, doom. Turn the lights off. Touch. That's me. That's me. Gotta touch. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And if you don't like it, it is what it is. So. You know this because it doesn't matter whether I long stroke on top or whether it's from behind. You're gonna get a song. Yeah, you're gonna get a song. You're gonna get a song. It is what it is. If I'm behind, you got some nice long hair. I'm gonna wrap that hair up. I'm gonna sing a song. I don't know what song is gonna come to mind, but I'm gonna sing a song. If I gotta be close up on you and I gotta look you in your face, I'm gonna sing a song. It's just I'm a 90s baby, you know what I mean? So, well, I'm technically I'm an 80s baby, but I was raised in the 90s, so a lot of R&B is in my life, you know what I mean? So I gotta, and you know me, I'm gonna make up song, so I'm gonna look you right in your face, and I'm a serenade as I tear that box up. That's just the world that I grew up in. You gotta blame that 90s, early 2000s, you know what I mean? So the 2000s in the 90s, that's just that's the way I was raised, you know what I mean? Like the last good push. You know what I mean? Penelope does have long hair. Say glad you didn't flirt with wrestler. Yeah, you better be you better be glad. You better be glad. Listen, I had my whole playlist. Zephyr, I had my whole playlist. I had my Bluetooth wireless speakers, and they're really loud. You better be happy. You would have been reading more than them goddamn tarot cards. Just saying. Yes, for you. What this dick is telling you. You ain't got to turn no cards away from that. Yeah, Zephyr, yeah. So yes, Zephyr, you did the right job. You did the right job. Absolutely. You saw the liquor in the house. You saw everything. You did. Zephyr, she played it right. She played it right. She did a phenomenal job. She didn't try to read her future. She played it right. I don't know if she left after Mel and she just played her own card. She said, like, and the cards said, stay away from this bald headed bastard, because he about to lay some shit down. And this card said, if you fuck around with him, you're gonna find out, and I won't show up this night because that's gonna be crazy. Like, he will definitely try to get some kids in me, and I don't want to do that, because this said over here, like, you know what? In fact, this one said the safest one was there are toes in my future. What the? I don't understand toes in my future. That's crazy. So we're gonna go this one, and I get it. You put up all those tarot cards, because you listen to them. You are a good tarot card reader, because if it told you to stay with the fucking me, you did a great job. You did a great fucking job. Just gonna put that out there. Great job. This woman is a master at reading the tarot cards. She was like, there's a darkness heading your way. Why is there a darkness heading your way? It's a handsome devil heading your way. Are these cards for you? Are they for me? What's going on here? What's that? Suck it long and suck it hard? That's weird. That doesn't normally come up on my tarot cards. That's weird. There is I don't even understand what that means. Does that say BBC? I don't get that. I'm gonna reshuffle this deck. And here's one. The deeper, the better. You know what? I'm sorry. These cards are not working today. These cards are not working today. Like, I don't know what's going on. The Dark Harbinger is on his way, not understanding I just took a flight out from New York. So, it's not tarot cards, it's Cards Against Humanity. That is wild. That is wild. It's Cards Against Humanity is wild. You said that. Don't tell me that's not how tarot cards work. All right. I'm happy you didn't walk up to me and say, "Hi, wrestler. Read my palm." I read my palm. It said I'd be grabbing something glorious. We just met. What do you mean grabbing something glorious? That's a weird introduction. What does mine say? It says wait for something great, and you said you read your own palm and said you'd be grabbing something glorious? That is crazy. I don't know what you mean, but I have a stream that I'm probably gonna do a little later. So on this very laptop that came with me all the way to Vegas. So yeah. So I don't know what you mean by that, but great on you. When yeah, it is what it is. See, I'm happy. Let's just say I'm lucky. I'm happy and I'm lucky. Zephyr didn't try to read some tarot cards on me. She would have been scared. She was like, this man has cheated death more than a few times. And, oh my God. He's the dark chariot I've been looking at. Oh my God. No. You know what? I think we should stop. We should stop right here. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm just hot. And this is a big ass house and there's no central heating. You know? There's no central, no AC. It just says that I shouldn't read. In fact, this very card says I shouldn't read any more cards to you. I'm like, there's a card that says you shouldn't read any more cards. She's like, yes. What the fuck? No, I know about tarot cards, right? She's like, this card says I shouldn't read any more cards because it says that like it's is it hot in here? It's too hot. It's too hot in here. And I'd be like, damn. I wonder if it means I shouldn't go live tonight. Maybe it's talking about Vegas weather just being too hot. You know what I mean? Now she got me thinking about it. Like, not knowing it's probably something totally different, you know? You say you're not scared though. You're not scared. It's good. It's good to have people who are afraid to face sudden death. It's good. It's all right. It's good. It's nice to know. I like those who are fearless. I like fearless people. We need more fearless people in the world. You know what I mean? I just wish the chat would be more concerning about people who are fearless. You know? I think it's very important. Most people in the chat they're not concerned with the aspect of people who are fearless. Instead, they just want to know about how they can get people together. Listen, if they saw me and Zephyr, and they saw Zephyr spinning up the cards, doing tarot card with me, let's just be honest. It's not the guys. It will be the women that want to see some crazy shit. And Zephyr, you can say no, right? But the chat will be saying yes. They be like, say yes. You're like, oh, this is This everything here is just and they be like, Zephyr, say yes. Because why? They want to manufacture a story. They want to manufacture a story. They be like, say yes. We need you to take them cards and throw that shit to the side, and we need you to say yes. And you say haters. I don't think that at this point they're not gonna be haters. They're gonna be motivators. They're not gonna be haters. They're gonna try to push you onto whoever it is around. They're gonna push you. They're gonna say, we think this is the best things for you. They're gonna say the tarot cards is wrong. The cards are wrong. No, it's not about being. It's not about you being popular. It's not even about me being popular. It's about the situation, the old situation being popular. It's not about popularity. I told you, if there's someone watching, there was someone trying to pull strings. This is during a time of Vegas. I wasn't the popular person. I wasn't the guest of honor. Can we be fair about that? But if they said, why don't you go ahead and you give Resla a reading? They would have been like, we think he needs a second opinion. And they would have been like, and I would have been like, hey, first of all, I would have been against it. First of all, if you had offered me a tarot card reading, let's be honest, Zephyr, I would have been against it. But because it's probably Resto and probably even Kev, he would have been like, you know what? Don't be a pussy ass motherfucker. Get your tarot card reading. Why you? I could see Kev. Why you being a bitch? I'm like, who a bitch? I ain't being no fucking bitch. I just don't care about tarot cards. The nigga, what you doing a stream? I'm like, I ain't doing a stream right now. Like, the nigga get your tarot card read. I could see Kev, saying something. I'm like, you know what? Nigga, I'm gonna pour me a drink. And I'm gonna sit down and fuck it. I don't care. Read me my fucking tarot card. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And somebody would have probably did it live, even if it wasn't on my channel. Maybe somebody would have done it in the back. Well, we know it wasn't going to be Resto. He didn't have the equipment. Whatever the fuck that means. And somebody would have recorded it. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm happy that you say you don't fall under peer pressure. Because peer pressure doesn't work on me either. But chat pressure would still try to be brought forth. The same way how you say peer pressure doesn't work on you, intoxication didn't work on me. Inebriation didn't work on me. I took my drunk, happy ass to bed. Kev took a business card. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did take a business card. I'm sure he wanted extra readings.
Wait, what?
I'm sure he wanted some extra readings. That's what it was. I said what I said. He needed an in-depth analysis, a deep reading. He probably did. He probably needed a deep reading. I get it. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not really one for it. But he probably felt like he needed a deep reading. Who am I to care? You know what I mean? That's what he believes. He believed. You know. Why do I care? The fact of the matter is that this is how chat people behave. Not always. That's how they are. You're right. Not that I am super polite. And some people may not believe that. So fuck you. I am super polite. KM may not believe that, but I am super polite. And we're not going to talk about why KM doesn't believe that. I am super polite. I check up on people. I make sure everybody's good. I ask how everybody's doing. I say good night to people. I do all that. KM probably doesn't believe that. Oh yeah, he thinks that he's a good person. He thinks that he's a polite person till he's pulling on the back of your head. Not true. Maybe I'm just texting the dexterity of your hair conditioner. It could just be that too. I'm just want to make sure that you're using the right chemicals. Is that Laurier or is that Pantene? Maybe that's just what I'm checking. But that's all it is. Nothing else. It's nothing else. It's not. That doesn't mean I'm not. No, I'm just caring about the dexterity and the strength of your scalp. That's all. Nothing else. It is what it is. Like, that doesn't make me a mean person. You know what I mean? What the fuck are we talking about? What are you talking about? Don't listen to everything the KM says. You know what I mean? I'm projecting. I'm not projecting anything. We're talking about that the internet could be projecting. I'm just making examples. I'm not projecting a thing. I am making examples, and I am making clear-cut examples. I'm not projecting on anyone. I don't project on anyone. I'm not projecting on myself. I'm making examples. That's all. You need to understand that. Now, can the audience create tension that there wasn't there before? Absolutely. Not because they should, but because they can. And it's not always a good thing. Because sometimes there's nothing really there, but they feel like they got to do something anyway. And that's nothing to do with you. That's nothing to do with the people that's there or the one-on-one interaction. But they have to do with the fact that people want more than what is actually there. Sometimes, just sometimes, there are people who are there throwing gasoline on a small spark and pretending that they discovered fire. I feel like I've been long stroking you enough. I just realized we're in our third hour. Some of y'all have been having too much fun, So let me try to close this up. There's a lot that I have said. How do I want to try to close this up? The mistake people make with flirting is they think noticing is making them understand it. They don't. You can notice chemistry and still misunderstand it. Misunderstand the context. You can see banter that happens and still not have any clear understanding of the boundary that happens between it. You can see private jokes and still not know the private agreements that are being made. You can see two people online with a good chemistry, a good rhythm, and still have no idea whether each of them really not really understand what each of them really wants. That is the topic that matters. Because it's not really about flirting. It's not about people. It's not about people assigning meaning to something. Some people assign meaning to self-image or from self-image. Some people do it from ego. Some people do it from hope. They do it from suspicion. And online, people who are in the audience, people who are viewers, assign meaning from entertainment. You're a liar and a ninja. She said she can't hear it, but she a liar and a ninja. This is why flirting gets missed, it gets overread, it gets exaggerated, and it can turn into content for a lot of people. And the final point is rather simple, at least to me. Flirting is not proof. Chemistry is not ownership of what's going on. Access is not intimacy, whether it's from those two people or whether it's from the chat looking in, the viewer looking in. And the viewers are not always just watching. Sometimes they are trying to write a story that's not actually there. So the question I want people to sit with is this. The next time you think two people are flirting, I want you to ask yourself, what did you actually see? That gum driving me nuts. What did you actually see? Did you see what the actual intentions are? Or did you see an actual spark that builds something that is bigger than the rest of yourself? Because I think a lot of people look at what they could see versus what is actually there. And I think what they could see is based on what they build for themselves. I think that's the difference. Oh, due diligence in the building. He said, I have an example. An example of what exactly? What's your example? I'm not understanding what would be an example. I'm not really sure what an example is. I've already been on for over 3 hours. What do you know what? I'm not even gonna ask you guys a question because you guys are gonna say yes to it. So what I'm gonna do is say, are you still in the building? I'm not sure when you dropped this. Oh look, it's relatively recent. You don't, Zephyr, respectfully, you say that's not your business though. Yeah, you don't manufacture drama. You deal with the fallout. Most people deal with the fallout of that business, of that pain. Whether you feel like it's not your business, it becomes your business if people keep holding wherever you go adjacent to it. You know what I mean? You eventually, whether through any faults of your own, are gonna have to address it. Because here's the bad part about social engineering, right? With people, they will make things your business, whether you want it to or not. And I've gone through this as a creator, and I think many other people, even if they're a mod, has gone through this. So it's just something to think about. Just not saying it's official, not saying it's a 100%. I'm saying that people will still make it your business, because there are lots of people that I deal with, even here in a chat, right, that believe that the only way for you to have any validity, to have any sense, is to validate what they're saying. And I'm with you when you say, oh well, I thought so, oh well. I'm with you on that. I tell people, who the fuck are you? You're no one special. But do say he wanted this, so this link is for you, do. I think there's many people where I'm just going, that's not my business. There's been, by the way, Zephyr, not that you know, but there have been multiple people who accuse me or just want things to happen. and make up things, and just they've made up women that I've been dealing with, and I'm just like, I just laugh at them. I just go, okay. Oh, you would mess with this person, you would mess with that person. I'm like, okay. And I said to them, like, I think you want me more with we want me more with other people than I think about. And by the way, Zephyr, you notice from your own dealings with people. So, with that being said, it's been I don't know what the hell that last 30 to 40, whatever the freaking hour, whatever the hell minutes were. That shit was absolutely crazy. Outside of that, like I said, you guys got a ladies' night stream, which is coming up on the 29th, which is a Friday. It will most likely be there at 9 p.m. that night. It's literally called a ladies' night. And who knows? I think I'm working towards an actual song for that particular stream. Don't hold me to it. And it was very interesting to do it. Let me give you guys. It's gonna look weird on the vertical side, but for the horizontal, let me show you what it's gonna look like. So that's the kind of like the graphics that I got set up for the ladies' night, and it's gonna be both horizontal and vertical for those who pick your poison, whatever. And I'm gonna be figuring out what's going on. By the way, sometime in the middle part of this week, because as much as I would love for you ladies to show up, I got a feeling you might try to let me down. So I might have to just let the boys take it, which you can't actually say at the end of the day then that I didn't give ladies a shot, because ladies like to say a lot in my chat, but they don't really like to say much when it's time to just now have a conversation with each other. I'm hoping that you don't, but I got a good feeling you might let me down. I'm hoping that you don't. I'm really am putting a lot of work to make sure that you guys are gonna be on. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of prepping for disappointment, because you guys prefer to talk less than to be actually active where it really counts. I'm prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's all it is. And check the actual description in the community. I have a community post now, so you can check the description for the actual stream itself. And outside of that, there's not much to go in there. So it is what it is. We'll see who shows up, who doesn't. I have thrown even the link or whatever into several different Discords. Funny enough, because I don't really go on Discords, but I did that earlier today. It'll be what it is. And of course, if you have any topics that you think that might be relevant, let's just say even if you're a woman that's not necessarily be there, for the women that are there, feel free to write in that community post, so at least I have an idea what might need to be talked about. So it's something if we have enough time, I will bring it up in the actual conversation. And with that being said, we have already been spending so much time here. On my own, I could long stroke you and did so for 3 hours. And I don't even know what the fuck the rest of that hour and change was really about, to be honest with you. The shit it made no sense, had no relevance to the content whatsoever. So with that being said, everybody who don't like what's going on, don't even worry about it, because it's not for you, right? And everybody who is with it and everybody who is okay with what's going on for the future, I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.